everyone. Today we're talking about one of my favorite things, and that is opera and how to get your elementary music students to like it. Yes, it is possible. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. Like helps other people similar to you find it, and subscribe helps you to make sure that you see the next videos, especially if you hit the little bell, then you get notifications when I post new videos. So you will get notified about all of the music lessons and ideas that I post here on YouTube, which is a lot because your girl can't help herself and has to share everything that we do. So today I'm sharing some opera, specifically the song Toreador from Carmen. So before we get started, I do want to address the question that I sometimes get, which is, but my kids aren't gonna like opera. Now, I love opera, but the first time I taught opera to my students was because we were doing a program called Musical Explorers where we learn about different styles of music and then we get to go to concerts. It's really cool. One of our styles was opera, and at the end of the year, the program director came to me and she asked like what some of our favorite ones were, and I was like, oh, well, we loved, you know, this, that, and we loved the opera. And she looked at me like, really? And I said, yeah. And she was like, that was the one that other people are saying that they didn't enjoy. And I was like, my kids loved it. And now my kids had zero exposure to opera before they came to me. They thought it was just one of those like super weird things that no one ever actually does. You just hear about. So I'm very passionate about the fact that you can teach and your kids can enjoy songs from all around the world, from all different time periods, even if they might seem a little weird at first, but they can still enjoy them. And a lot of it comes from you. If you're like, we're gonna talk about opera and you're probably not gonna like it, they're not gonna enjoy it. But if you come at it as like, we're gonna learn about this opera and it's so cool and all these things happen and it's super dramatic and all these different things, then the kids are gonna be a lot more inclined to enjoy it. The other thing is, if you really work to make sure that you are including the kids in making the music, they're gonna enjoy it a whole lot more. I literally had kids in my class the first time I taught opera, and I told them at the end, I was like, did you know there's a lot of people who don't like opera? And they were like, oh, but opera's amazing. And I was like, yes it is, yes it is. So now today we're going to talk specifically about the song Toreador, and this is 4 different ways that you can teach Toreador to your 4th and 5th grade students, maybe even 3rd, but I kept it with 4th and 5th grade. So if you're not familiar with the song, it is from Carmen, and Toreador is the song that the Toreador, the bullfighter Escamillo, sings when he comes onto the scene and he's bragging about how awesome he is. And in this song he's talking all about bullfighting and explaining kind of like what bullfighting is and what it feels like when you're in the ring, and it's just all these different things. It's so good, so dramatic. I love showing them the clip of it so that they can like see it acted out, but these are a few things that we do along with it. I do want to let you know I have a whole Google Slides lesson that is just about Toreador. It talks mostly about form, but it also throws in things like comparing and contrasting. We talk about the story and where, you know, who Escamillo is, why he's important, all of those things. We also learn the words and the actions and do a lot of the things that are included in this video, and also more things that are not included in this video. So I will leave the link to that down below. All right, so number 1 is we learn the words and we do some actions. So I always find that kids are gonna like the song a lot better if they know it. So I teach them some of the words in English, just to the chorus. During the words from the chorus, I will leave a link down below to the Carnegie Hall website. This is where I found these lyrics so that you can play them and hear them and remember what they are after you watch this video. But here are the little actions we do. So for Toreador, we do our little you know, bullfighter cape over to the side, and then it says on guard, so we hold up our sword, and then it goes back to Toreador, Toreador. And as you fight, so we're sword fighting, just think that from above, dark eyes send their regard with promises of love, Toreador, with promises of love. So this song goes like this. Toreador on guard, Toreador, Toreador. And as you fight, just think that from above, dark eyes send their regard with promises of love, Toreador, with promises of love. So that's how the song goes. We go through these different actions just to kind of help them get it in there, and then I show them the video of the song. I love to show this one on stage so they can see Escamillo acting it out. If you find a good actor, then he's usually like really being dramatic and you know, explaining the bullfight in detail, and it's just so much fun. All right, after that we do a scarf routine. So this one, funny enough, I actually created the first time I taught opera to my little people, and this was one of my first blog posts ever, and it still does pretty well today, even though it's kind of a crappy blog post. But I actually used it this year with my 4th and 5th graders with this song and on Zoom. So this song, I'm not using the ones with the words, I'm using the version from the Carmen suite, and the form for this is A, A, B, B, A, C, A. We always do the hand signs first to help us figure out the pattern so that we know what it is. And the movements we're doing is on the A section, we march. The second time it does A, it comes back louder. So I told them on the second time, you can pretend like you're the first person in the parade and like move your little, is that a baton? I don't even know. The thing up and down as you march. On the B section, then we wave our hands up for 8 beats and then down. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it does an echo. So we do that on the bottom. We go back and forth. On the C section, we are doing an infinity sign, and we start really far down. So I like to start like all the way at the ground, and we do that. And this is the part that is the same as the chorus in the original version. And so, and then as it gets louder, we'll go up a little bit and then up a little bit until you're like all the way up at the top, and then it'll do it all over again. So it's super, super simple movements. I used this as a warm-up activity with my older kids. I have also used it again with my little people. It's really fun with a scarf, but we did not do it with a scarf this time since we were on Zoom. So it works either way. All right, number 3 is a virtual field trip. I have fallen in love with virtual field trips, y'all. They are my new favorite. We have a Swan Lake virtual field trip. We have a Harlem virtual field trip where we learn all about jazz people. We have a virtual field trip to the forest to learn about piano and forte. We have a virtual field trip to Ireland. We have a virtual field trip about opera, and we also have one that is all about Carmen. So in this virtual field trip, go to the opera and we learn about the story of Carmen. We listen to Carmen's Habanero, which is that super, super famous song that you know even if you don't think you know the Fun fact, I sang that in my senior recital because I'm a mezzo, and I think all mezzos have to sing it because there's just not enough songs for us. Anyway, we learn about the composers, and we learn a little bit about Bizet. We talk about Escamillo and about Don Jose. We also learn the words to the song like I showed you, and it's just all sorts of different things, and it is so much fun. And the format is really interactive. The way I like to do this is I share my screen, we do it together, and I pick the first like 2 so that they can understand the story and they can understand what opera is, and then I let them pick the rest of it themselves. So we'll kind of vote. I'm like, all right, what should I click on next? And that just gives them a little more authority, and they really enjoy it. It's so much fun. You could also send it to them to do on their own. There are at the end like question slides that they can answer. I usually have them do it in the chat on Zoom or just out loud, and then at the end I took the last slide, and that's the one that they actually filled out. It's like a, you know, recap of the whole thing. So really fun, really great, and highly recommend. So I will leave the link to that down below. It is the virtual field trip for Carmen. And the last thing I want to talk about is a percussion play along from Pequeño Mozart. This is so much fun, and it's really easy. It doesn't even have notation, so it's a really easy like beginning of the year activity to kind of get the kids in and playing, and it's almost like a game. It has like the little it's like little dots that go across the line, and when they go across the line, you play them. It's actually created for at home. So all of the things that say like, this is the spoon part, this is the box part, but you could of course do that in class with triangles and drums and just all those different things as well. All right, and now a bonus one that is not in the blog post, because I usually have a blog post and a video that go together, but this one I found after I wrote the blog post, and that is comparing, contrasting different versions of Toreador. So you could do this with the instrumental suite and the song where he's acting it out, but I've discovered the most amazing thing, and that is hip opera. You heard that right. So this is wonderful. Basically, he's singing the whole song, but he's putting it over a backing track and like dancing in the car to it and really acting it out. And it is hilarious. It is so great. He does a really great job. First of all, he sings it really well. And then he also adds the things and he's like doing all these dancing that just makes it a lot of fun. And it's great. So it's actually under a Bullfighters song. Definitely check it out. It also has the words like translated so the kids can understand it pretty well. And so I like to show them this video after we've done all the other things and have them talk about like why it's different and why they might have done that. Some kids think it's really funny. Some kids are like, oh, that's so cool. So just be aware that they might have different reactions depending on the class, but I think it's really cool. I love him. Like I downloaded some of his albums because I'll like listen to them when I'm doing work by myself, because it's like a beat opera. It's great. It's great. So that is one more thing that you can do. Now, if you enjoyed this, then I will leave a link to both the Toreador lesson, which has all of these things plus even more that we didn't talk about in a Google Slides version. And it talks all about this song. We talk about form. We talk about compare and contrast. We talk about the different sections. We do movements. I mean, it's like all the things, y'all. And then I will also leave a link to the Carmen virtual field trip that I mentioned down below, as well as the hip hop video and the Pequeño Mozart play along and all of those things. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.